Hey guys, this is Production Music Live with a quick sound design tutorial, and someone was asking how to make this LFO kind of pad sound. So we are designing it with Serum in this small tutorial, and we are playing this type of chord here. It's kind of 7th chord. And I'm going to create a duplicate of this track, delete this instance of Serum, and place in a new one, and we can start from scratch. Now with the init patch from Serum, put it on solo. So this is how you get started. It's actually not that far away. We can use this initial saw wave and place on this filter, this low pass filter. And if we play around with the cutoff, it already sounds a bit like what we are trying to achieve just from the init patch with the filter. And we can go ahead and place a LFO on top of it, on top of the filter cutoff, and take the filter cutoff down all the way. And if we go hover over this little headphone here, we can put up the range of our LFO, how much is going to open up the cutoff. So the LFO shape down here determines how we are opening this cutoff. So now we are just opening it up and then we are closing it down. You probably heard that sound before. It's very commonly used, but we need a higher rate, so have it play faster. Something like this, or well, 16th notes sound somehow right, but we need triplets. So we are going to activate the triplets here, and then we are triggering the rate with the T. That sounds about right. And with the smooth parameter over here, we can decide how much LFO we want to use on our filter. So if we open up the cutoff just for presentation reasons, so if you smoothen it up, the LFO is almost not applied. It's just an interesting fact here. So let's go down with the filter again. And now we can beef it up with a couple of more voices. So we put in, say, 4 voices of this saw wave, and it's heavily detuned now. Because if we look at detuning, we see all those voices are quite far away from each other. So we can get them closer to each other, less detuned, less off pitch. And if we put up the blend and have those outer ones be just as loud as the inner ones, we get this nice sound. And if we open up a bit of the drive of this filter, so how heavy it is going to be applied, it's going to sound a bit more interesting and fat. Even clipping a bit, so I'm moving the master volume down. That's nice. Now we can do a bit of automation here. If I assign this, if I use this cutoff filter over here and configure it, so put it into the Ableton chain here, and now we can select it from our automation drop down here. We can open up the filter over time and get this nice effect in there. Okay, now we have to go back into the sound and put down the application of the LFO just a bit. So this is really a decision of you. How much do you want of the filter? I think it sounds more interesting if you have it a bit lower. So or even less opened up. So you can always decide on how much you want to open it up by just going into the automation and deciding how far you want to go. Sounds interesting as well. So also, now we have a bit of a difference between this first LFO pad here and the second one. And that depends a bit on the shape of this LFO curve here. So if we go down and we put it more into shark mode, so something like this, it sounds more plucky in the beginning. Also need to put in the filter automation here. So duplicate envelope. And you can also tell it to trigger from the start. Anyways, this is a quick approach to getting in this LFO pad kind of sound into your track. And it's fairly simple with Serum. As you can see, it's a powerful synth. Making that sound is not too much work. You just put in a bit of voices, put a filter and put an LFO on top, and you're basically good to go. So I hope this answers the question, and check the description for courses, templates, presets like Serum presets for tropical house and future bass, and subscribe to our channel, and I hope to see you next time.